What's up, guys? I've tried to start this video a bunch of times and I keep messing up, so hopefully this time works. But I want you guys to come deep with me today, all right? We had some fun yesterday. Let's go deep today. I want you guys to think about an idea that maybe will take some wrestling, all right? The idea is that you have purpose, and I want to help you try to understand that. It's easy to feel like you don't, especially with all that's going on. It's easy to feel like you don't have much purpose or to get lost and not know what your purpose is. All right, so I want to pull you back to the truth of God's word. So now in the Bible, a bunch of different places, it talks about how God knew us before we were born, or as he formed us, he knew us before we were born, and he had plans for us. All right? And a good example of this is Jeremiah chapter 1, verses 4 and 5. It's God comes to Jeremiah and says, I'll just read it. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I consecrated you. I appointed you a prophet to the nations. All right, he's saying, before you were even in your mother's womb, I already knew you. And before you were born, I had consecrated you. That means I set you apart. Just like when you buy new shoes and you have them, you like save them for a certain occasion. That's consecrating them, right? You're saving them for something special. God, before Jeremiah was born, set him apart for something specific, and that thing for him was being a prophet for God. Now, this is a truth that's said other places in the Bible, and so we hold this to be true about each one of us, that you and I, we were all created with purpose. Before we were born, God knows what our purpose is. Now, you might say, like, but what does that mean? I don't know. So I'm going to try and help you understand your purpose. And I want to break it down into something really simple. I'm not going to tell you, like, you're going to be a doctor or you're going to be a lawyer or whatever. But I think there's an idea that should guide our lives. Our purpose, I believe, is summed up in this little statement right here. Can I put it there? I'll try and put it, like, right in there maybe. All right? It is to know God. Let me see if I can hold it there long enough. To know God and to make him known. All right? To know him and to make him known. Now, that's going to look really weird. I don't know if that's going to work. But anyways, let's break that down. I honestly believe that your purpose in life is wrapped up in those two phrases, to know God and to make him known. All right? And if you're feeling like you lack purpose today, or you don't know what your purpose is, listen to this, because you need this. To know God. That seems really simple. Yeah, I know who God is and all that. All right, but it's more than just knowing about God. This is actually knowing God. We do that. How do we do that? By spending time with him, reading his word. We take this Bible and we don't just read it as an instruction manual that teaches us how to be good people. All right, we read it because we want to know the creator of the universe. We want to know the God who creates the majestic waterfalls and the powerful thunder, and we want to know who created the immense universe and the tiny atoms. We want to know him. We want to know the God who does miracles around us, right? We want to know him. We want to know what he's like and how he operates, how he thinks, all right? And the way we get to do that is by reading his word and by praying to him, saying, God, I want to know you. And God actually promises, Jesus said this, he says, if you seek me, you will find me, all right? So we can take that as a promise that if you honestly search after God, you will find him. And this is so important because in this time, in this world we live in right now, you can get so confused about what to believe. There are billions of ideas of what you could possibly believe, all right? And there's tons of different types of Christianity that you could believe. People who believe this and people who believe that. But listen, you need to know God above everything else, above religion, above what kind of specific things you do as a church and all that. You need to choose to learn to know God. You need to make that choice to dive into God's word and learn to know him. All right, and that is a big job that we'll never ever stop doing, but we start, all right, because we want to know who God really is. And like I said, in a world that's so confusing, this is something stabilizing. When you study and find parts of God and start to understand who God is, it gives you a stability in this world of so many opinions and voices in your head. You can trust the God that you know, the God that you have a relationship with, right? And the God of the Bible doesn't change. Knowing God is what we're made for, right? He wants us to know him, be in communication with him, to live for him. That's what we're created for, right? And we cannot glorify God if we don't even know who he is on a personal level. So first of all, your first priority in life, you could make this your life motto, to know him and to make him known. Then the next part is pretty easy, right? As you get to know God, it transforms you, it changes you. And that change it brings, the peace and the joy it brings with you, is something that you want to share. And if you honestly understand what the Bible is saying about life, then you recognize that man's ultimate place is under the authority of God, living in worship to him, and in the end, spending eternity with him, right? And knowing that, we want to share that with people because we don't want people to be missing out on that relationship with God. We don't want people to miss out on their purpose because they've been blinded by Satan, right? And God has chosen to use people to share that news, to share that information, to share that relationship, okay? And so that's the second part of our purpose, is to know God first of all, and second of all, to make him known to the people around us. So we could go way deeper in that, but I want to encourage you guys, if you're feeling like you lack purpose today, dig into God's word and say, God, I want to know you, all right? I want to know you. And remember, God created you with purpose, all right? You have something that he has called you to. Don't waste it. Awesome. Have a good day.